Hello, everybody. Now, I know this is a very overdue video, but I promised I'd make it. So let's just call this video the Rework reaction. And obviously, it's long overdue for like, whoa, cool new reworks. Whoa, he's got attacks. Whoa. It's not gonna be like that. I'm going to assess what I think of the new changes, not just to Lawbringer and Raider, but some of the other minor changes they made recently, some of the plan changes, and the new character as well. Might as well cover that. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to start this off by talking about overall how disappointed I am with what they did with Lawbringer. I know a lot of other players are disappointed with how Lawbringer came out, but I don't think I am in the same boat necessarily when it comes to why I'm disappointed with him. My biggest problem with Lawbringer pre-rework, not only shove on block, which obviously was going to go away, so, you know, I expected that, but was his stupid punish damage, and that doesn't seem to have changed much. In fact, they literally buffed Lawbringer light parry. Like, are they just sitting around thinking like, oh yeah, Lawbringer, what's he lacking in? Attacking? I don't know. Maybe his light parry damage is a little on the low side. 45. That's not. I don't know, man. And he still has the impale off heavy parry, so even though they reduced it to 10 damage, it's gonna get 40 damage average, you know? Not to mention players who aren't as good at blocking chain lights, that's gonna be probably another 15 damage or a shove even though the chain shove is obviously not very good. It's still, for the most part, completely safe to throw out. It has like almost zero recovery. I'll probably show a clip here if I have it. I just today dodge guard broke a Lawbringer chain shove and counter guard broke immediately, even when I buffered it. So, but as for Lawbringer offensively, not much has changed. You just have to keep your neutral guard top for, not because you want to parry him, just because you want to block him, because that's his fastest attack. I mean, with the guard switch delay things, yeah, you can like feint and do lights occasionally, but like you'll get parried eventually. It's not good offense, and it's not. I can't believe people are calling Lawbringer a light spammer without him even having a light chain. Like, they really tried to hold back when it came to adding offense here. They could have made the neutral bash usable. They could have made shove combos stronger. Instead, they just removed the whole entire shove and made this stupid chain bash, which I'm not very happy about, honestly. I would have rather seen the shove combo built on and made stronger, and it would have been an actual good offensive move, maybe. But they seem to just want to keep him that way, which is, I don't think a character should really exist like that just can't really attack, but just only wins by having literally more HP than everyone and punishing more than anyone else. That's just, I don't know, it just encourages players to stand there and do nothing. In fact, I don't know what most Lawbringer players even want for Lawbringer. I don't know if they even want him to be good or what, or they just want him to be like thematically balanced with like hyper armor heavies or something stupid like that. Like, I think the main focus for improving Lawbringer should have been making his offense better, and everyone's concerned about, oh, why doesn't he have a soft feint from heavy into long armor, hyper armor? Like, he's still going to be a trash character with all those, at least offensively, mediocre. I mean, this character is quite very good defensively, like even better defensively than he was before, which is another thing I want to talk about. Now Lawbringer has something to deal with bash heroes. Like previously, before, he could, just kind of survive just because bashes have been easy to dodge since they've buffed iframes accidentally 2 seasons ago. But now Lawbringer can semi-consistently punish bashes with a lot more ease than he had before. And his neutral shove still has no recovery too, so it's a relatively safe option select. If somebody like feints into a guard break and you buffer a neutral shove, that's if they dodge it, it's not guard breakable. It's not like you won't be put in recovery. And speaking of no recovery, another prediction I made for Lawbringer in my last video is how he could have potential as a mid lane character. And according to some friends, apparently I was pretty right about that. So Lawbringer, for those that didn't know, his zone is pretty much like 0 recovery. And he also has body count and second wind. So basically, he can sit mid and clear minions without worrying about opponents hitting him. Even opponents who just can hyper armor trade with him. Like if you wanted to be Hitokiri and you wanted to sit in mid and just like hyper armor trade with every zone he does, he's gonna gain more health and you're gonna do damage to him. And the same goes with the thing I mentioned earlier with people requesting that there be a soft feint to long arm. Long arm serves its purpose in 44 and it can stay that way for all I care. It won't catch any back dodges if there's a soft feint, and that's what a guard break soft feint would do anyway. So, and that's much easier to make. I just wanted to really drive that point home because I hear it a lot. It's very trendy amongst the people who discuss anything about For Honor, and I don't understand it, and I wish people would just understand why I hold my position and really should focus on making Lawbringer better in places that matters. I'm kind of straying too far from the point. Let me kind of give a TLDR here. So the Lawbringer rework, core issues aren't fixed. His punishes are still too high. He still can't really put on offensive pressure, and he just kind of meets the bare minimum for offense. So I don't know what their concern was with making, if they thought Lawbringer would be too oppressive if he had some sort of offense that wasn't just like, oh, he could continue a heavy chain after his light gets blocked. Like, wow, whoop-de-fucking-do, bro. It's not like I'm just going to early dodge and beat his whole entire unblockable mix-up anyway, which that's not fixed either, because they can't add guard breaks off feints, even though they did it with Raider. It literally doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Impale gank is, I guess, kind of fixed. They got rid of the basically ability for you to one-shot anybody with it, which is nice, I guess. I don't like what they did with the ganks, though. I wish they kept them uninterruptible at the beginning on the charge parts for Raider Stampede and Lawbringer Impale. I think in a way they made them both safer to use, because previously if you were in a charge, like, you had to manually stop the combo or else you would just take a bunch of damage. And so in a way, it being knocked out by like somebody's light attack or something, and it just resets the whole thing, that's way better than taking like 75 damage because he accidentally stampede. All they had to do was add damage resistance to Lawbringer's Impale gank, and it would have been the same as Raiders in that way, because you don't hit the opponent when he's on the Raider's back. There's no reason to. It's just feeding revenge, and it's at 75% damage resistance. There's no reason to do that. So neither of the ganks were completely removed from the game at the very least, so that's a positive, I guess. But yeah, that's my overall opinion of Lawbringer. Probably one of the worst reworks there is, but not for most reasons people are saying right now. I have very specific other reasons that I just previously mentioned. I don't like high damage punishes. I don't think they're good for the game, and I don't think Raiders rework is any better in that regard, and I'll talk about that in a second. So with Raider, I'm kind of on the fence. Overall, they've made the character better offensively, but they've made some questionable changes, and they still haven't fixed some of the key issues I have with Raider. But even without dodge guard break, Raider's still going to be a pretty decent character in my opinion, and he's still going to have, like, dodge stun tap itself is not a bad dodge attack for 1v1s. Not the best for 1vx because of the way the iframes work on the dodge attack. I can't really explain it properly, but I think when a lot of people fight Raider at the moment, there's a lot of like animosity towards dodge guard break, but like people just make stupid decisions even though they know the mechanic's there. The mechanic's been there for 2 years now, and now people think it's a problem apparently, because apparently we can't remove defensive mechanics when the character's bad. We're just not allowed to do that. Oh, it's all they have. Like, yeah, no, we should have removed these mechanics like ages ago, and this never would have been a problem. But instead, you know, they make a whole character around that philosophy with the Lawbringer rework. So, now the other thing that is just piling on to the anti-Raider circle jerk. I know I will get Raider hate comments, even from some of my more open-minded viewers. I understand if you don't like the character, but there is so much fucking misinformation, stupid bullshit, and just fucking stupid-ass bitching around a One Direction soft feint. I've had people suggest to me that Raider stun tap, which is basically a 500 MS light, should do like 10 damage just because it stuns and might land in our attack, so it should be punished for possibly 40 damage. Listen, guys, light shouldn't do less damage unless they're gonna make some significant changes to heavy punishes, because they are ridiculous at the moment. You are losing like more than twice as much health from getting your light parried as opposed to landing it. I can't think of another fighting game that has that. In fact, like most fighting games have 3 attack directions too, but you have all the directions have attacks where they're unreactable from neutral. And what do For Honor players think that this is the same here? Like do you think 500 MS lights are the same thing as like 15 frame opening attacks in like Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur? No, they're not. You can't even compare them. This game is not a fighting game. It's a defending game. And so when people say they just cry constantly, oh, we need openers and blah, blah, blah. What the fuck do they mean? Because half of the things in For Honor can't initiate a fight at all. Like, and this is half decent offense for once. And then people are making a big stink about it because it's got a big 400 number. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about Raider stun tap for people who are still uninformed, because misinformation on this is rampant, even though there's been a lot of coverage on it. Now, Raider stun tap is basically the speed of a 500 ms delayed light. It's always on that same delayed light timing, even though it can be buffered and still come out at that same speed. It always comes out at the same speed. Not only that, but it has a frame of missing indicator. So when you have 500 ms delayed lights, which are 433 ms, and then you subtract that one frame, that's where you get the big scary 400 ms number everyone's using. Now I don't know if the majority of people out there legitimately think that's the same as like a Berserker delayed light. That's not the same. Those are 333 ms. This is significantly different. In fact, if you frame time, I'm going to show on the screen here if I can. If you frame time the stamina cost from the beginning of when you do the stun tap till where it connects, it comes out at 433 ms. It's still a 500 ms attack with just that one 33 ms missing. That's literally it for your One Direction soft feint. That guarantees a stun that might land you another attack. Wow, dude. Holy shit. I think the stamina drain is very annoying, because stamina in For Honor is fucking stupid, and having even less of it is fucking stupider. So I would not mind them even just removing that whole aspect. I don't think stamina pressure is relevant in For Honor at all because of out of lock stamina regen, so really it just draws out the fight longer for no reason. The damage is fine considering it's a light parry. You're going to get punished for 40 to 35 damage, even 50 if you're fighting Lawbringer. So I think it's fine in that regard. And I like how people are trying to use the whole Reddit's retarded, dude. They're just telling us to block. No, Reddit is, I don't know why people think that Reddit is trying to defend stunt tap. Reddit hates attacks. All the For Honor subreddits hate any form of attacks. There's no way you can just say, oh, it's the Reddit retards who like this. I am, and it shouldn't be about just blocking. There shouldn't be a just block argument. It shouldn't exist at all. That shouldn't be a thing. How are you going to play a For Honor game where everything is just do this one thing and then the character can't, touch you? Why should that happen? So why is it that day one the Raider Rework comes out, people want to immediately be adjusted to his new combos? How do you expect to make a video game with more depth for a player that plays past even 100 hours or so? If you expect reworks to have combos that you're immediately going to figure out how to completely fucking negate and just be worthless within the first hour of fighting this character, you have to of course fucking adjust to a new character. And so what if it can hit you every once in a while, even if you're a decent player with decent reactions? That's how For Honor should work, or else we're just gonna stare at each other. People don't understand the concept of you can just do fucking nothing. You shouldn't have to be trying to parry to take damage in For Honor. That shouldn't be how it works. And now there's somebody attacking me in For Honor, and it's fucking cool. I think it's cool. I like it, but I don't like that I can't attack Raider because of some of his defensive mechanics. So that's where I'm kind of on the fence with how I feel about the Raider rework. The other parts I'm on the fence about is how they didn't fix some of his recovery still. They're still shit and have no options to, cancel out of. And I don't know why they needed to make it like that. It's not hard to see his stun tap chain finisher while you're even stunned. You can clearly see it and block it pretty easily, not let alone wait for the end of it and dodge it and guard break him and get free damage. I mean, it's just simple as that. But at the same time, that same heavy shouldn't be doing 40 damage because it rarely lands or something, They shouldn't be buffing Raider damage overall. It should have been nerfed, if anything, like so many other characters in For Honor. And now you have this hero who's, legitimately good at putting up offense, can drain a lot of stamina, and then gets a big out of stamina punish. So in a way, it synergizes really well, but not in the design aspect I would like. I'm not a big fan of that. As for his other chain attacks on the Raider character, they're pretty mediocre, other than maybe his hyper armor trades if you get into chain, but that's kind of I feel like people will get more used to that over time and it won't be as strong. His light chains, I don't know why people say, oh, he's a light spammer. It's your one direction soft feint that might land sometimes. Your light chain is still fucking garbage. It's 500, 500, 500 from all sides, but if you even go to the top direction in chain, it goes 600, 700 at the end. So 500, 600, 700 from the top direction. Even Berserker and Warlord, who both have neutral top lights that are 600 ms, have 500 ms lights in chain from top direction. But Raider couldn't, because it would be too oppressive, I'm sure. Just like Lawbringer. Either way, it's still one of the better reworks I've seen, because, you can actually attack in some capacity. So I would give it, even despite all the design flaws, which I think a lot of these design flaws have to do with the discontinuing of workshop testing with the competitive community. So for those players who think that the competitive community shouldn't get involved in balancing, they only want to abuse broken things, this is a perfect example of why you want the competitive players to fucking test shit. Because then you don't get the Black Prior fucking out of stamina pressure bug, or you don't get shitty designs like Hitokiri, which I will talk about in a second. You don't get this stuff. You don't get these. You wouldn't even know about these out of lock combos that Warlord and Shinobi have. So, fucking, for those people who say that stuff, it really irritates me. Because I'm not saying you should circle jerk to the word of competitive players and, good players alike. But don't completely shut down somebody's input on a subject because you think they're fucking too good at the game. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Now, I was just talking about bad design in Hitokiri, and I think I had a poll up on my channel a couple weeks ago talking about Hitokiri. Zero Crack actually made a great video that kind of opened my eyes onto the whole issue with the character. Because, you know, usually I can catch bad design pretty quickly, but when Hitokiri first came out, I was just so thrilled to have a new Hyper Armor hero that was viable besides Berserker, and I was really enjoying the hero. But I didn't think about how unfun the character could possibly be if you just wanted to, you know, stand there and wait for a light flash indicator and do a heavy because your heavy's 7 RMS and has like instant Hyper Armor startup practically. And I don't think that's the main issue with the Hitokiri's design is the fact the heavies are fast and have Hyper Armor startup. I think the fact is that they're variable timed. So if a player wants to punish your attempt to trade, then they just have to hold down their heavy slightly longer, and it could completely fuck with you just like that. And for some people, that's fine though. That you could argue this is just another way to play the game. There's counterplay there theoretically. It's not like a lot of other combos and option selects on For Honor that have no ways of being punished or anything. But yeah. As for his kick mix-up, it's almost a decent combo. I don't know why people complain about it. It's literally a chain dash. So you have to like actually do an attack first to get into it. I've always thought that the whole people complaining about light into bash spam on BP was kind of retarded, considering you have to land attack to get into the chain. So never really made sense to me. Either way, you can roll from the combo every time. There's the roll catch doesn't work for that, because as long as you're not rolling on the timing of the kick and rolling on the timing of the sweep, you'll always avoid it, because the sweep is past the feint window for the chain bash mix-up, which means you basically can roll away without them having the ability to feint and then do the dash heavy, which probably wouldn't even catch you if it could. But this could be good for out of stamina pressure, because it kind of works the same way like the variable timing bash on Ward and Shoulder Bash with a little less tracking. So yeah, it's good in that regard. But I don't understand two things: is why the recovery for whiffing is so high for both of them, and why the punishes are different values. Like, they should either both be lights or heavies, in my opinion. But I do really like this character. I think if they made a soft feint that could come out of any point of the kick sweep combo, even towards the end of the sweep, it would be legitimately good offense that would cover all options almost. And then my other thing on this character is some of the recoveries are really bad for no reason. Like the zone recovery is really stupid. The damage values are balanced on Hitokiri. I like them. The feats are underwhelming in some aspects and okay in others. I don't think the tier 4 is broken or anything. I think it's good, but I don't think it's broken. And that's about it for Hitokiri. I think it's a cool character. Nice mid-level character, but I would prefer to see overall stronger characters with better offense as opposed to just ones with abhorrent flaws and stuff. But, you know, it's a fun character. I'll give them that. There's definitely some really bad design choices they made for this hero that would have been easily criticized if there was some type of preliminary testing group made up of experienced players. Because there's no way a lot of these aspects on the reworks and this new hero would have got through workshop testing if they had anything to say about it. And they don't listen to a lot of things that they said in the past workshops, so it might have got in anyway, so who knows. The other changes I wanted to address are changes they were proposing making. Every season or so, they say they're gonna fix fucking out of lock roll or whatever. It's a bunch of snake oil merchant bullshit, you know. I don't believe them anymore on that. But I do think there is going to be changes going to what they mentioned, defensive mechanics like Nobushi Hidden Stance, Shinobi's backflip, and I think they said JJ Sifu. And immediately, I just see this influx of just Redditors going, Nobushi Hidden Stance, they're going to destroy her. Like, is it, what, too much to ask to put like 100 MS guard break vulnerability on Nobushi Hidden Stance? Even if it made her worse in 1v1s, who the fuck cares? Like, can we fix broken defensive mechanics? Like, I don't even care if the characters are compensated at this point. These things should have been fixed years ago, you know? And people can't even complain about them because I don't even see them use these mechanics half the time right up until they get patched anyway. So it's a really stupid fucking argument, I think. We shouldn't leave around broken mechanics just because it's all they have, bro. And even with a nerfed Hidden Stance, you're still like one of the best 2v2 and 4v4 characters. As opposed to just making, you know, your C-tier duelist into a D-tier duelist or something. And even at that, you still have some of the highest punish damage in the game. So, I don't know, dude. Reddit mazes me sometimes. I don't know why people are so adamant to defend Hidden Stance after we've all agreed that it's stupid in its current state. It is possible to punish. I'm going to acknowledge that, but the fact that you can counter guard break out of it is a little ridiculous. Now for the other two, I don't know if those are the right ways to go. I don't know what they would do to Shinobi backflip. I think Shinobi backflip should be reworked to be an iframe move or something. Maybe a stupid idea on my part, but I don't think I don't like its current design, though, as this 1v1 move where you just kind of can cover all your whiff recoveries with no counterplay. But then if they just give it guard break vulnerability, it just deletes the move from the game, really. You know, so I don't know. It's hopefully instead they kind of surprise me and they come up with something creative, and I doubt that's going to happen, though. As for JJ, I don't know what they want to do to JJ. I don't think it's he is really strong for that reason, but I don't think it's necessary to like nerf Sifu poise or anything. I don't know. I don't know what changes you can make to it. If anything, maybe it'll be that JJ doesn't backstep when he Sifus, so he doesn't get that like double dodge kind of aspect going on. The other thing would be adjusting how much he moves backwards when he light attacks. Stuff like that actually make him really turtly. And yeah, I don't know what they would do to Sifu poise. And there's still no signs of them making his kick mix up not like beat by early dodge. And then, you know, the other three Wulin are still unfinished too, and I guess Blackfire is pretty unfinished as well. They just don't finish their fucking heroes they make. So, you know, I can't really say I'm optimistic for the future of this game looking at that. But, I don't know. I like New Raider. It's fun to fight a character that attacks me. I can take that from the season. But I don't like, you know, Lawbringer changes. I don't like Kitakiri's ability to press heavy on red, even though I have fun doing it myself. I don't think that should exist. But yeah, that's all I got really to say. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments. I kind of scurried off into a rant on this one, but I don't know, man. I'm still never gonna get these commentary videos right. They're always gonna feel wrong to me. But if someone is watching them, then I really do appreciate it. And thanks for all the support, likes, comments, subscribe, all that shebang. And more importantly, Lamau get bodied.